Howdy folks, Chris here from CC Detecting and Scrapping with another What's In It video. This is kind of the unofficial part 3 to the CRT series I was doing before, the comparisons between the TVs and the monitors. I have a little VCR TV combo here that I'm going to take apart today, so let me just show you what I got here. Alright, so we got this little TV VCR combo here. It's not a very big one. It's I'm going to say Sansui, however you pronounce it. It's just a little tiny VCR TV combo that's seen better days. It looks like it's been smashed pretty good here. We got cases already coming apart, and it's been smashed here. Cord's missing, so but yeah, there's still good stuff in there. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot like a TV. There'll be the yoke and the gauzing cable and stuff like that, with the added components of whatever is in the VCR, the head spindles and that. So it should be pretty exciting. I don't think I've ever taken one of these apart that I recall, so well, hopefully we can find some interesting things in there. Anyway, let me grab some tools, rip that case off, and we'll see what's inside. Alright, so we got the case off here. Let's just take a quick look inside. So there's your TV and your yoke low grade boards that we've seen in all the past TVs. That's not in there very solid. We got the copper yoke, the gauzing cable here, and then we have the VCR low grade board as well. So let me rip some of these things out here. Well, of course we got the speaker, which isn't in very well and only partially attached, so well, there we go, speaker's out. Anyway, let me get these boards out, and we'll see what else we can take out here. Alright, so let's take a quick look at these. They're just basically your low grade TV boards. We have here a copper bearing piece, some insulated wire. We'll trim all that up. I got some aluminum to take off when we process the boards. This was the end of the power cord, so we'll cut that off. The yoke board just doesn't look like there's anything too exciting on it. Maybe some silver contacts in that switch there, but we'll take that off when we process the boards as well. The VCR board, nothing really stands out too much there. Little circuit board here on top of the probably a reed head. These here are like a good cast aluminum. If you can pop those out and clean them up, then you can just go into your cast aluminum bin. So I'll see if we can't get that one taken apart. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're not. And in the end, it's up to you whether you feel they're worth it or not. But yeah, a little motor here. Pop that off pretty quick. Most of this will probably just go right into the tin when we before we put that into the board box that I have. Inside, just a pretty good little copper yoke here. We'll clean that up. We got looks like a pretty good chunk of the gauzing cable for something this size. Looks to be fairly thick. Hopefully it's copper, not aluminum. And then we got a little bit of tin coated copper here. So let me get all that cleaned up and get the boards cleaned up, and then we can weigh this out and see what we got. Alright, so I got the VCR portion off the board here, and I just want to show you something real quick. So this top part here had was sort of built like this. We had a couple screws here at the top. We pulled that off. It then had this copper bearing was actually attached to this circuit board. It had a couple little tiny screws and then popped off pretty easily. So the circuit board is pretty much a low grade. And there's a little copper bearing device. This little guy here, looks like I've already misplaced one of the screws. This just goes in your tin, but it was held in with a couple little brass screws. And there's the other one there. So just a couple little tiny brass screws. And then what we're going to do now is on this side, we're going to undo these 3 bolts. We're going to get that out, and then we're going to figure out how to unfasten this circuit board here and get this copper bearing device off as well. You can see a little bit of copper in there. So let me get that done and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so this is what that one circuit board looks like when we take it off the off the back. It's one that had this wheel on it. It's just a ferrite wheel. Who knows what it's for? I'm not into the technology part, just into the destruction. So what we can do is we can pop off these little coil rings and then just throw that in with our strip coil. And then the board would go in with our circuit board stuff to be done later. What we're going to do now though is we're just going to take a neodymium magnet and get it stuck to our video camera here. And we're just going to do a quick check to see if there's anything that looks like it might come off easily. Appears all this stuff is just going to go right into our tin pile. So let me finish cleaning up this mess, and then we'll get the scales out and start weighing some things up. Alright, so this little motor here, this is actually cast aluminum when we clean this up. So we're going to pop this little ferrite out. There is a tiny bit of copper in there, but it's mostly just a ferrite ring. We'll snap that. And then that comes in as a clean cast. And then this side here, we got a couple of screws to pop out. I believe those ones might be brass with a couple little tiny, I have no idea what the heck they'd be, but it also comes with a little bit of ferrite and some copper there and a bearing. So we'll pop all that out, and then that'll be clean cast as well. We got a good chunk of brass here on it, and then that's just a piece of steel. So that's not too bad for that guy. Yeah, I don't know, I find them fun to take apart. They're pretty quick too. A couple minutes here and you got a couple pieces of cast and some brass. So let me finish cleaning up the rest of this mess and weigh some things out, and then I'll get right back to you. Alrighty, so I got it all taken apart here, and I got pretty much all of it weighed out as well. So let's just take a quick look and see what was inside that guy. For tin, we ended up with just about 1.5 kilograms, or 3 pounds 7 ounces. Clean brass, which is these little guys up here, 12 grams or almost half an ounce. Dirty brass, which is this stuff over here, was 9 grams or again almost half an ounce. The stainless steel, that comes off the yoke part. We had the 2 bands plus one of the screws was all stainless, so 12 grams or about 0.4 of an ounce. The little plastic connectors off the wires, which I'm going to see if I can't get dirty brass for, is 12 grams or 0.4 of an ounce. The tin copper, that's this stuff here that was around the CRT portion. It came in at 5 grams or 0.2 of an ounce. The cast aluminum, that was that stuff there off that one, I don't know whether it's a reed head or whatever it was. What was that, 104 grams or 3.7 ounces. The insulated wire, 71 grams or 2.5 ounces. Copper bearing, that's that little motor up there plus that other copper device. It came in at 66 grams or 2.3 ounces. The copper yokes came in at just under 100 grams or 3.5 ounces. The stripped wire, 351 grams, that's it there, or 12.4 ounces. And then the low grade came in at about 1.5 kilograms or 3.8 ounces. So overall, not too bad for a little tiny TV VCR thing. It was pretty fun. So that wraps up what's in it for this little Sanyo, I can't remember the name of it now. Anyway, this little TV VCR thing, pretty fun to take apart. I don't know, pretty simple as well, just like most TVs and CRTs. You get a little bit more cast aluminum with this one because of the VCR portion. I probably would have had more stripped wire and a little bit more brass had it had a full cable on it, plug-in cable. But sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. I was trying to think if there's anything else I should mention about that might be a gotcha. Nothing really, just a little bit of copper inside that one head. These things here, the little reed head there, pretty easy to clean up for your cast aluminum. So I think that's about it. So yeah, I hope you found this informative. It was pretty fun to take apart. I look forward to taking apart another one now that I know how. That's about it. So hey, I hope you guys have a great day or night or whatever time of day it is you're watching this. Anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good one, folks. Ciao.